The salaries of the Ottoman concubines or sultanas remain one of the most fascinating and controversial subjects in imperial history. There was never a single standardized salary system applied to all sultanas. Instead, their incomes varied widely according to rank, political influence, and the personal favor of the reigning sultan. These payments were not symbolic, they were structured financial allocations that reflected real authority within the Ottoman state. In this analysis, we will examine the documented salaries of several prominent Ottoman sultanas and explain what these figures truly represented in the functioning of empire. Before presenting these numbers, it is essential to clarify how such figures were recorded and how modern historians interpret them. Ottoman palace privy purse ledgers, known as Hazine Hassa, meticulously recorded daily stipends in akshi, aspers, allocated to elite members of the court. These records included the Valide Sultan, the Safiye Sultan, and other high-ranking women of the imperial household. Many of these registers have survived and remain preserved in the historical archives of Turkey. These stipends were official payments issued directly from the imperial treasury. They are cited extensively in academic research on Ottoman court administration and elite power structures. Modern interpretations of these records rely heavily on established scholarship, particularly the Imperial Harem by Leslie Pierce, a foundational academic work that compiles and contextualizes Ottoman stipend registers. Additional confirmation of individual figures appears in modern historical summaries that reference these same archival sources. This discussion is grounded in documented history, not legend or television dramatization. The goal is clarity, not embellishment. We begin with one of the most influential women of the Ottoman Empire, Hürrem Sultan, Roxolana, title Safiye Sultan, chief consort of Sultan Suleiman. Hürrem Sultan received a documented stipend of approximately 2,000 akshi per day. This figure appears in secondary scholarship drawing directly from palace payroll records and is consistently cited in modern historical accounts of her life. In modern purchasing power, this daily stipend corresponds roughly to 10 to 18,000 US dollars, resulting in an estimated annual equivalent of $3.5 to $6.5 million. This income was not personal luxury spending. Hürrem's stipend financed large-scale religious complexes, including mosques, hospitals, and soup kitchens. It also supported political patronage and diplomatic correspondence with foreign rulers. Functionally, it represented an early form of discretionary state budget entrusted to her authority. Next, we move to Nurbanu Sultan. Her title was Valide Sultan, mother of Sultan Selim II. Nurbanu Sultan received a documented daily stipend of approximately 1,100 akshi. This figure appears in court-linked historical accounts related to Selim II's household and is referenced in modern scholarship on the authority and income of Valide Sultans. In modern terms, this corresponds to roughly 6 to 9,000 US dollars per day, or an estimated $2 to $3 million annually. As Valide Sultan, Nurbanu controlled access to the Sultan, managed diplomatic channels, particularly Venetian relations, and influenced court appointments. Her official stipend was supplemented by foreign pensions and diplomatic gifts, meaning her real power extended well beyond her recorded salary. Dear viewers, third, we have Safiye Sultan, title Valide Sultan, mother of Sultan Mehmed III. Safiye Sultan's documented stipend reached approximately 3,000 akshi per day. This figure is explicitly recorded in historical summaries of her life and reflects the extraordinary scale of her income during her son's reign. In modern purchasing power, this amounts to roughly 15 to 22,000 US dollars per day, or an estimated $5 to $8 million annually. Her financial resources funded extensive bribery networks, political marriages, and competing palace factions. Safiye's influence became so dominant that it provoked open resentment among the Janissaries, who viewed her power as a direct threat to the balance of the state. And last but not least, dear viewers, we have Kösem Sultan, titles Safiye Sultan, Valide Sultan, and Regent of the Empire. Kösem Sultan received approximately 1,000 akse per day during her period as Safiye Sultan. Upon becoming Valide Sultan and later regent, her daily stipend rose to several thousand akse, reflecting the expansion of her authority. Primary sources confirm that her income increased in direct proportion to her political power, consistent with established Ottoman court practice. At its peak, her stipend corresponds to approximately 20 to 30,000 US dollars per day in modern purchasing power, or an estimated $5 to $9 million annually. In modern terms, these women were not wealthy consorts. They were state actors with discretionary budgets comparable to prime ministers, regents, and leaders of dominant political factions. As a result, concubines often received incomes far exceeding those of Ottoman princesses and, in many cases, surpassing the salaries of the mufti, the qadi, and the grand vizier, sometimes even exceeding that of the sultan himself. These figures reflect the degree of power they wielded within the state, to the point that even Ottoman princes did not command comparable resources. In some cases, the Ottoman state confiscated the wealth of sultanas upon their deaths and returned it to the imperial treasury. This practice was not universally applied, but it was enforced in several documented instances. The Sultanate of the Harem ultimately became a heavy weight upon the Ottoman state. Through the political dominance of the mothers of sultans, it reshaped succession governance and imperial stability. Despite their immense power, many of these women produced weak rulers, enabling them to pursue their ambitions for wealth, authority, and influence at the expense of long-term stability. Farewell, dear viewer, until we meet again in a new tale from a new world.